Deep in the heart of Peru, the Sanders Hardema expedition has just discovered a mysterious mummy, Raskar Kapak, he who unleashes the fire of heaven. Back in Europe, the explorers are stricken with a bizarre illness. Tintin investigates. Professor Cantonou has been attacked. I'll go and tell Dr. Midge. Hello, everyone. Oh no, he's starting to talk again. Alright, ignoring him. Hello, everyone. My name is Mappy, and today we are going to be playing Tintin and the Prisoners of the Sun. If you are unfamiliar with Tintin, I'm not going to go into the deep Tintin lore, because there is deep Tintin lore. But all you need to know is that we are Tintin, guy on the left. He's pretty cool, he solves problems, goes on adventures. So this is a game that I had as a kid, and I played it quite a lot. Mostly the first few levels, because this is the kind of game that hates you and doesn't want you to get very far. It's actually, there are a bunch of levels later on that were essentially designed just to steal all of your money. Or not money, but lives. Okay, so this is the museum's famous box and spike room. Not sure what kind of exhibit this is, but yeah, it's just kind of a good introduction to the kind of platforming nonsense that we're going to be getting up to. One of the very nice things about this game is that, at least for the platforming segments, it's very straightforward in what it teaches you. It doesn't need to have any sort of tutorials or anything. It just does. So yeah, grabbed a key. That golden statue up there is health. If I needed it, I don't need it. Ooh, that was close. This game does have fall damage, but you need to fall from like greater than the height of the screen or something, so it's unlikely. Dang it. Child, why did you harm Tintin? He's a friend to all. I cannot manage to open the door. I don't have the key. Here is the key. Thank you. So yeah. Also, what you probably aren't getting from just watching this, but the controls for walking up and talking to someone are incredibly janky. Where's Dr. Midge's office? It's at the end of the corridor. So yeah, you walk up to someone, you don't press any buttons, and then you just kind of hope that you're at the right distance or something. It's a very bizarre system that I'm not sure why they went with that. But anyway, here we're off to tell Dr. Midge that, oh no! Dr. Midge is asleep too! I must tell Thompson! So yeah, these are all the archaeologists who committed grave robbery. And so they have... Ooh, that was close. So if you notice that, like, those pixels on the ground, yeah, they've been knocked into a deep coma by, like, something, crystal orbs or something. It was better explained in the comic, where Tintin actually does investigation and not just running right and left. But what can you do? Dr. Midge has caught the mysterious illness. What, Midge too? I'll go. I have to find Professor Tarragon. Tarragon was the leader of the expedition, so if anyone knows what's going on, it's gonna be him. Okay, and this segment is not great. Yeah, that's actually really hard to dodge. I think I've done it once. But yeah, end of level. Meet Professor Calculus, one of Tintin's great friends. Have you seen Professor Tarragon?
Tarragon? He's most kind. I'll introduce you to him if you like. My dear Tarragon, I would like to introduce two of my friends.
Welcome, gentlemen, welcome! Snowy. Tintin's good/alcoholic dog. Snowy's a good boy. Tintin is also a good boy, but is not drawn very well in this particular scene. I guess you can only do so much on the Game Boy Color. Ha 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 ha! the mummy of Raskar Kapak is frightening your dog. Here's what was carved into the walls of Raskar Kapak's tomb. After many moons will come 7 strangers. These vandals will carry away the body of he who unleashes the fires of heaven, but the curse will pursue them over land and sea. We did not think it was odd that there was a prophecy that actually, predicted the exact number of people in our expedition. This was not odd at all. This happens all the time in archaeology, I'll have you know. Crack! And, yeah, that is a ball of ball lightning. This level is going to involve a lot of ducking and running when it's safe. The ball lightning is throwing everywhere. I'm just gonna note that in the comic itself, this was like 3 panels of action, where everyone's in the room just kind of like trying to dodge this thing that's careening all over the place. It's not. This game is not the most faithful interpretation of the comic. Yeah, I keep calling it a comic, but it's really more of a visual novel. They're like, when I was a kid, I had 21 of the Tintin books bound into 7 volumes. So yeah, there are 24 Tintin books. 23 have been completed. The 24th is partial, and at the end of his life, Herja, the guy who did Tintin, was basically just like, no, I'm the last person who's going to do Tintin, no one can complete this. But yeah, this is actually one of the earlier stories, and oh, you'll see. This one goes fun places. Yeah. Also, first secret in the game. Alright, just for the record, I am currently playing this on medium. Easy adds more health pickups and I think it's another health bar. But yeah, that was an extra life if you didn't pick that up. Yeah. Easy adds another piece of health and you get more pickups. And if I remember correctly, hard I think drops you by a health bar and then it's like no pickups for you. It's hard is cruel, we're not gonna do hard. Medium is actually brutal enough and you'll see why later in this video. Oh yes, you will see why. So another thing to let you all know about beforehand, this is a game that uses a password system to save. I actually have the passwords right next to me while I'm recording this, because some of the mini-games which are required to continue forward are just absolute garbage. They are just the worst. They are designed to eat through your lives, because if you run out of lives in this game, you have to start the whole thing over. They're from that era of game design where they just wanted to extend the game. Because this is not a long game if you do everything perfectly. Also, that was the Mummy of Raskar Kapak. And here's our first password. You generally get them after every second level. Yeah. The next day.
Is Tarragon here?
Yes, but he has been attacked by the crystal ball. He sounds in a bad state.
Going around the estate? I'll join him.
Oh yeah, if you didn't catch on already, Calculus is the, joke/defining character trait for him is that he is very hard of hearing. Sorry, he is borderline deaf, or as he puts it, slightly hard of hearing in one ear. So half the time when someone's having a conversation with him, he just says something that's borderline related. Like that.
Oh, a bracelet. But this is the one that was on the mummy's arm. How well it goes with my coat.
I don't have a consistent voice for him. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make him sound old. Calculus, oh my god, he has been kidnapped. Let's go after the attackers. So this level always makes me think of one thing, which is that in the, if I remember correctly, in the comic, Tintin ran out with a gun. He was no stranger to using firearms for self-defense, or just generally, as a precaution. But in this game, no, you're never armed. Your only weapons are ducking and climbing not that I think having like a pistol or anything would help this game, because I actually do rather like these side-scrolling segments. At least a lot better than the minigames. Like, hoo boy, the minigames are rough. But yeah, it's just kind of interesting to me that this is the kind of it's the kind of thing where you'd expect it to, I don't know, maybe not much of a like side-scrolling shooter, but a little bit of that. Oops, better get that health. Oh, dang it, and then I fell into a bullet. Health wasted. That is going to be a story of this game, because, not to blame my tools, but the controls for this are workable, I think is the term I want to use. They function. They function acceptably. They've got away. Later. Let's go to the docks. The police have seen a car that fits the description of the one driven by the attackers. Hey, does anyone want a driving minigame in their platformer? Any of you said yes? Just go hang your head in shame, because this is terrible. This does not feel good to control at all. So, you see those numbers in the bottom right corner. The top one is your timer. You start with 70 seconds-ish. But the bottom one is the distance away from the docks. In the actual comic, this was like a one-panel transition. They decided to make it a minigame that, as you see, you run into a car, you get damaged, you get knocked back, and it slows you to a crawl. And, oh, by the way, you might notice that the road is curving. Whenever the road curves, you move in the opposite direction. Okay. So what I'm planning on doing is if I... Nope. If I can't make it through this, I'm gonna give it one more try, just to... Alright, I'm gonna give this one more try. If that doesn't work, I am going to briefly cut away from the video and use passwords. I might give it another try, depending on how close we get. But this is just not very fun to play. And the frustrating part is, again, this is mandatory. You're playing this, like, weird dodge the cars minigame for, like, at least a minute. And it's just unnecessary. It's just that unnecessary droning noise the entire time you're doing it. As you're probably noticing, I'm trying the pro stat of taking my finger off the accelerator button in a feeble attempt to dodge vehicles, which is not the easiest. One fortunate thing is that if you are moving at maximum speed, your distance does go down a bit faster than the actual, timer. But on the other hand, not by much. Whenever I've actually beaten this, it was with like 4 seconds left. Oh, and come on, game. Please. Alright, I think I'm actually gonna do it. Which will introduce us to, yes, another password. Thankfully. So we never have to deal with that again. However, the docks, talking to the police didn't get us anywhere. Poor calculus. So this is not a very safe workplace. And if you look down, you might notice, or maybe you've noticed before, that this game does not give you back health between stages. It's a fun design choice. This was I mean, this was a game from the mid-90s, so it makes sense, but... Ugh. Snowy, would you leave that hat alone? Stop dragging that green hat that looks like it belongs to my friend Calculus. Like, seriously. Why would you think that's, like, some kind of clue, Snowy? With your, like, superior dog nose or whatever. What? That smells like Calculus? Impossible. It's just some old hat that you found. Because I can't imagine that the kidnappers would, like, I don't know, knock over his hat and just leave it or something. Ugh. Tintin. Sometimes you're not the most sensible. Okay, now let's see. Can I do this bit without dying? Is gonna be the fun question. My crane is broken. I'm getting my tools. Let's see. Nah, okay. Oh, that was good. Yes. Excellent. I keep running into those spikes. Tintin's jump is not the most perfectly developed thing in the world, as you just saw. Like I said, the game's controls are a bit clunky. The good thing is we don't have to try to jump over that again. We just have to... No! We just need to persevere. There's health and an extra life on the other side. And those will be... Those will make everything worth it, I tell you. Everything! Also, look forward to the next stage. The next stage is glorious. Do you have any tools? Yeah, take this! Grabbing that. Grabbing that. I think I just need to get to the Docker, and then one more stage, I think. Stage's not very long. This is stage 5 of, like, 15, 16. Look what I found! Thank you! Alright. Next, we're gonna have, you know, that classic standby of any and every single platformer ever. It's Calculus's hat. Some lads were playing with it. We have to find them. Ooh, yes, investigative pose. And get ready. Side-scroller! Yes! Side-scrolling segment. Where you don't want to be too far on the left side because you might get caught. You don't want to be too far on the right side because, you know, you have to know when things are coming. This is... I mean, once you actually have this stage down, it's pretty fun. But it is not my favorite. It is not my favorite stage. I think my favorite stage is the one that's coming up after this one. It is pretty difficult, all things considered. Yep, ooh, that was close. But hey, I like it because it's actually a pretty interesting thing mechanically. And we're done. It's not a very long stage at all. Where'd you find this hat? Under a stack of crates in shed 17! And I think I'm going to leave off here for today. I'm Mappy. This was Tintin and the Prisoners of the Sun. And I hope you enjoyed yourselves.